we have got your semifinals. We're going to be looking at semifinal number 1. We're going to be watching noverb on Rainbow Sling versus jolterz on MonoFire. Let's head down to the action. All right, welcome everybody to the semifinals. We have got jolterz versus noverb. Let's tell our players they are good to go, and let's get started here. Noverb mulliganing down to a 3 power hand with Sling of the Chi, Crafty, and 2 copies of Somiel. That seems like a pretty decent hand. On the other side of things, jolterz got 3 power, Beseech the Throne, Might Weaver, Grand Suppressor, and Speaking Circle. Noverb actually going to toss that back and go to 6.
Wow.
Seek Power, Crafty Cultist, and an All Head there. Maybe I didn't get as good of a look as I thought, but yeah, noverb going to go down to 6 on that and going to draw a Suffocate here.
I wonder if the worry was just getting to 6 with having 2 6-drops.
Yeah, potentially.
I'm sorry, 5 drops. 5 drops.
I'm really interested in this matchup. I wonder if jolterz seems like if they get a good draw, they could come out of the gate swinging, but I wonder if the deck is fast enough.
Well, I think maybe noverb was going for looking for interaction, so removal.
Yeah.
Like this,
Be.
Ooh. Faded forward.
Yeah, look at that. I love that. Love that timing. Kill your Grand Suppressor, and then, all right, I'll just get a 4-1 off of it. Might Weaver coming down, so noverb going to need some answers for that. You got a Crafty, though. You can Crafty pitch 10, maybe?
It's like what do you want to get rid of?
I think you want the Grenadin, though.
I think you play the Grenadin now,
block.
right?
Don't you just play the Grenadin? 10, get the 1-1. Okay. Yeah, I think I like that. I think you really want to set up where you can block both of these units next turn. Because now they can't really attack in your 2-2. Oh, Surge
has
plus
Surge.
1. Yeah. Sorry about that. I thought that was a card, but yeah, Surge plus 1 there. You can still block here, which I like. All right, Veteran Mercenary says summon if you only have one type of influence, create and draw a random card. So they drew a Pyre Mage. Good old 3-1 for 2.
So they didn't attack.
Didn't attack. So yeah, noverb lining up some blocks. Going to go Seek Powering. As we said before, sign of a good player. Playing out that Seek Power.
So I guess, attacking would have just, you would have just lost your 4-1. So, I can see holding it back. And you're not going to want to attack with the Weaver, right?
Yeah, agreed. All right, well, noverb can drop this All Head next turn, but jolterz also drew a Bellax, so they've got Beseech the Throne here to try to set up for Speaking Circle next turn. They've also got Bellax in hand as well as a Pyre Mage that they got off of that Mercenary. So I wonder if you Beseech the Throne here, because landing a Speaking Circle next turn could be pretty good. But it's interesting because I don't feel like you can dirtle. Like, as soon as noverb finds a big unit or finds a Sling, you're going to be in bad shape. So,
right.
But like, it's not like a Pyre Mage is really putting on that much pressure. So I think you Beseech the Throne, toss away the Pyre Mage, and try to set up for Speaking Circle next turn. Tossing away that Pyre Mage. Their draw was a Blazing Salvo. So they've got Slag, Sight Slash, Gloves of the Pyromancer, Factory Quota, and Edict of Shavka. So Slag can take care of a Sling if it comes down. But here comes that All Head. And that's going to be tough for jolterz to deal with. Killing a 6/6 is not something this deck is set up to do.
So if they do have they have Blazing Salvo, right? So they can get the Scythe out of the market.
You could. Then
would noverb even try blocking? That's the
right. You're kind of 2-for-1ing yourself to get. You also, if they block, you also just salvo the unit, right?
Right.
Don't even need the Scythe at that point.
Okay. I guess they're just trying to go aggro, just trying to get as much damage as they can now, I guess.
Yeah, gonna get the Scythe. All right, this is a lot of damage because it will get double damage thanks to the Might Weaver. So yeah, pressing damage, that's gonna do 16. and then
Oh,
Bellax to
wow.
sack it.
Nice.
Oh, I
No, then
love that.
they sack it. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that is
fantastic.
fantastic. Heads up play. Let's get some heads up in chat for jolterz there.
That was
Really
awesome.
heads up to go do that. I didn't see that line at all. That was fantastic. That was fantastic. So if you didn't see what that happened there, so the sellsword was a 4-1, but thanks to that blazing salvo, was able to get the scythe slash to pump it up, hit for a ton of damage thanks to the might weaver, and then it keeps the power until the end. It keeps the attack until the end of turn, so Bellax could sack it, and then you get an 8/8 double damage. So well played there. Heads up play there by jolterz. I really like that. And we said before the matchup, we said you got to be aggro because that's how you're going to beat this Sling deck. And yeah, that's well done by jolterz there to see the line.
That was just really sweet. I mean, that was beautiful, you know?
Beautiful indeed. I'm sure they're going to jump right back in. Let's see if we have an update from the back table here. I don't know. That was pretty quick. Not sure they're going to be done with the game on the backside yet. Back one, the Overmaster taking one game, first game over Portage here. That's on a Menace Krull versus Menace Sling on the backside there. All right, here we go. Game 2, noverb versus jolterz. Jolterz is up a game. So let's tell our players that they are good to go, and we'll get into the action. The winner of this, go into the finals. A lot on the line here. Let's see if MonoFire can take it all the way to the finals. All right, jolterz keeping a hand of 4 power, Speaking Circle, Grand Suppressor, Beseech the Throne. noverb gonna fire off a Found painting here. Not quite as good as a Marvin painting, but I think it'll do for noverb.
Well, what I like here is the, double exploits.
Yeah, double exploit's good for sure.
Pick apart the hand if possible.
Yeah, good draw there for jolterz, though. It was a Barricade Basher. And, the Grand Suppressor is really in there for Bellax, but it actually works pretty well with Barricade Basher, too. 5/5 that makes you discard a card, but with Grand Suppressor, it's just a 5/5 for 3. Pretty good. Yeah, and noverb's going to be forced to take that Barricade Basher because turn 3 5/5 is going to be pretty tough for noverb on this board. Now here comes the same question as last time, right? Do you just go ahead and sling when you have a chance on curve, or do you have to exploit again or play out Grenahen? Now they saw the hand and know that jolterz doesn't really have much. They basically got Speaking Circle and no other gas, so I don't know if you fire off exploit at this point. You might just go ahead and take your opportunity to sling here if you can. And then next turn you Grenahen. I think this uses your power better. So you have 3, you sling. Next turn you have 4, you exploit plus Grenahen. I like that. You can also display, which is interesting. Although you probably don't want to display the Grand Suppressor. If you can display, you can just display the Bellax if they get there. Ooh, double. Also, Grenahen's also not really that great on this board because of the Grand Suppressor.
Right. It's like you're not going to draw anything.
1/3, yeah, lifesteal, which is fine against a pair of 2/3s, but it's not why you put it in the deck.
Well, what I like about noverb's deck is you have the display of knowledge, which can do really 2 good things, right? Putting an attacking unit to the bottom or getting sling, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely, good call. All right, jolterz is going to play out that treasure trove. Remember, they do have Speaking Circle in it. Oh, and they drew a Bellax off of the treasure trove. Woo! Here you go. That's a big one. All right, attacking in. Now, noverb does have the display of knowledge, so can take care of that Bellax if needed. But yeah, that was pretty good. Now, this is interesting because you want to play the Somiel, but that's going to put you in rough shape if jolterz gets any way to pump up this. Oh, it's the deadly hits. Okay, never mind.
Oh,
the deadly damage.
Yes. Very nice.
So Sling of the Chi is not what's doing the damage. It's the unit that's dealing damage. So the 6 deadly damage took out Bellax. So
sweet. That was really good.
Really sweet. Obviously, I should have seen that coming. That's one of the big reasons this card's in the deck. But yeah, nice there. Missed that.
I definitely think that noverb is turned a corner.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because there you go. It also suppressed the -13 to their face. So
oh, you're right. It did suppress that as well. Yep. Wow, I missed 2 interactions on that last one. Sorry, chat.
It's
But
getting late.
now you got that owl head, and you got this crafty as a 6/6 now as well. Though crafty is just a vanilla at this point.
It's a vanilla 6/6 that can kill stuff.
Vanilla 3-power 6/6 that kills things on, on ender and draws cards and draws cards end of turn. So
In fact,
still pretty good.
well, I guess not next turn, but if noverb draws another one, yeah, if they draw another sling, whether it's either with knowledge or just naturally, then
Yep.
they can pick them off,
Yep.
pick off both units.
Absolutely, or just draw another crafty or something here. Would also do it. All right, let's see what the options are. Oh, we still got one more to go. Fresh Prince of Belax. Nice. Roshi coming up with the sweet ones. Get a Curiox to give us some fire here. All right, waiting on the third choice from the speaking circle.
That is one of the more annoying avatars. I'm sorry, totems. Just because it's like, I'll end you myself every friggin' time.
All right, Ice Bolt's gonna take care of that
Ice
owl
Bolt,
head.
nice.
Let's not get any more big units here. So the choices were Ice Bolt, Scare, and then Shattered Hope says choose a card with cost 4 or more from the enemy player's hand. They discard it. Decimate it can't be negated. That's okay, but that's actually not great.
I wonder what the other choices were. Unfortunately,
yeah, it's not amazing. Another display of knowledge here, the draw. But as you mentioned, that crafty is actually pretty good. Noverb says got a lot of cards. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, you can't actually limit expedition challenges here. It's not working that way. So we have to do direct challenges, which means that even though this is an expedition matchup, random cards that are generated like Speaking Circle would normally just be expedition cards, but they can't be in this direct challenge. So you're going to get some thrown cards out of that, but well, do what we can do, right? There you go. Crafty Cult is going to take out one of the suppressors. And that's going to have a good attack here for Noverb. Going to make you basically chump the Grand Suppressor, I think.
I mean, do you even just bother?
Oh, just attacking face.
Oh, I mean, going to face, yes. Yeah. But if it was to the circle.
Interesting. I'm Adobe, but thank you so much for the raid. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody, from I'm Adobe's stream. I probably butchered that. I don't really know, but thank you so much.
These usernames.
We really appreciate the support. Welcome, everyone, from the stream. We are in the semifinals of the tournament tonight. We got one more round after this before we crown a champion. All right, here comes the Siege Train. Let's get that 6/4. You do not secretly choose anything because of that Grand Suppressor. Nover, I'm going to grab a second copy of Sling of the Chi.
So this is, interesting in terms of like.
Ooh, that's a great. Okay, I like what SRFS said in chat. We got to get you to get that custom card back community store so that you can use one of your pieces of art on the card back.
Yeah, but my response, or his hair.
Or his hair. That's true. That's a good one too. I like both of those. It's just this pumpkin one, except it's your hair. I'm sorry, you were talking about the game. Go ahead on the. Stop my silliness. I'll stop my silliness here.
At this point, it's too late. I have no idea.
Noverb here going to draw some cards.
I guess what it was is my thing was okay. Well, like, what do you go for? Do you go for the sight or do you go for face? And face is. Oh, that was interesting.
I don't think I would have done that. So having to cast a Scare to swap attack and health, but this now makes it so that the Siege Cane can't actually block these. Might not have mattered because Siege Train's probably biting the dust anyway.
Well, it's also got
so it's not doing anything, but still would have.
At this point, I guess it doesn't matter.
Would have targeted one of these. Get some. All right.
I mean, unless they get some sort of
open contract. Predator's Instinct. Well, now that looks really awkward on the
yeah. I think they've just thrown in the towel based on a 5,
Yeah, that's tough.
they didn't draw.
All right, that's gonna
Unless he
be it.
drew an equalize or something, I don't know.
All right, so noverb gonna even things out, one game apiece. Well played by noverb, taking it with that rainbow sling deck. All right, let's
This is
get.
definitely a good semifinal here.
It is. We've had a lot of good back and forths. I think all night we've had a lot of good, game threes and solid matchups here.
Absolutely.
Pull up noverb's rainbow sling deck list there. Yeah, Theo's match is done on the backside.
Interesting that Arcanum Hourglass did not show up in either of those two games, did it? Funny.
So Theo and Portage are tied at one game apiece, so they are still in their game three. So we're gonna whoever wins this one is going to take on one of the menace decks, either the Sling or the Krull. If Noverb and Portage pull it off, you're gonna have this, or I forget which one is on which, but you're gonna have potentially an option for a Sling mirror. Although I wouldn't necessarily call it a mirror. One Sling versus a very different Sling deck.
I can't even think of something witty to pair those slingy things.
Well, thank you again, everyone, for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate you spending your Friday afternoon or your Friday evening with us. Hopefully everybody's going to have a nice weekend with good weather this weekend. Springtime for most of us.
It's once you start talking about weather, that's when you gotta focus on winning the game, right?
Absolutely. Alrighty, let's see. We're not jumping back in, so why don't we, instead of sitting here looking at this deck list, why don't we just take a quick peek over to the Overmaster versus Portage on the other side. Let's see if we can catch a little bit of this action. As soon as our main match is ready, we'll flip back over, but just in case, we want to be able to check this one out a little bit, so rather than staring at the screen. So here we go. This is game 3 between these players. This is the other semifinal. We've got the Overmaster at the bottom of your screen. We've got Portage at the top. I believe that the Overmaster, I think, is on the Sling version. I think that Portage is on the Krull value version.
So the problem with snooze in this instance is you don't really have slings and you don't have suppressor, so it's just going to be like a dirtily 8/8 for a couple turns.
Play of Menace, the draw for Theo. All right, looks like our main match is ready, so let's switch back over. Let's see game 3 between noverb and jolterz to see who will be taking on the winner of this one in the finals. Switch over here. Alrighty. Noverb at the bottom of your screen, jolterz at the top. It looks like jolterz on the play. Noverb at the bottom of your screen here.
Actually. Oh wait, no.
I think jolterz
right.
already.
Yeah, you're right.
It was confusing because it's noverb's turn, but I think jolterz took their. Jolterz keeping a hand of Blazing Salvo, Prism Golem, Siege Train, and 2 units. Noverb looking at a hand of Display and Send an Agent in hand, along with a bunch of power. Not a great hand, but I guess you got Send an Agent for an early unit, and you've got Display Knowledge to grab a Sling, but... Right, turn 2.
Yeah, I mean, I guess two pieces of removal, I guess, or going for Sling, which I imagine Sling is the.
Yeah, I like, especially after drawing that owl head, I
card.
like Send an Agent, then go get a Sling, then try to slam a huge turn 5 play. Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, nice.
All right, Noverb's got a plan now. We're grabbing Sling, playing it turn 4, and then off to the races on turn 5, and jolterz with a little bit of a slow start here,
Yeah,
having to
I
spend their
think he's,
turn 3 beseeching the throne. Turn 4 beseeching the throne is great.
slow start here is got to be the key against, like jolterz really wants to be fast and quick against noverb, and it not happening has got to be a bummer.
Absolutely. That's really good analysis there. Yep, grabbing that Sling of the Chi. Here we go. You even get to play a painting this turn too, just for the depleted value, since you're only playing a 3-drop. But there you go. There's Sling of the Chi. jolterz does not have an answer for that. Now they do have a Blazing Salvo, but you need a target for that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't actually go and get the slag quite yet. Next turn, jolterz can Blazing Salvo, get a slag. But
Oh, wow.
damage might be done at this point. Here comes Alhed. That's going to take out the Siege Train and draw a card for noverb. I think jolterz probably has to go for the salvo line. Just you have to get rid of the Sling, or else the game's just over on the spot. So it stinks, but I think that's what your best play is.
There's a part of me that would have wanted to play Somiel first,
Mm-hmm.
because then you get him down to 13 right away. But maybe, I don't know. Noverb is a far better player than I am, so I would defer to their decision on what to do.
For sure. jolterz is going to go ahead and do that slag line. That's going to get rid of the Sling of the Chi, but this Allhead is already hitting and flipping huge units thanks to that buff, like making a Grenahen a 2/6. So now you really got to watch out for that. And a second Allhead there is just going to... Do these double?
Mm-hmm.
Like, would this be a 4/12 if it hit?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
It can be insane and stupid, and that's what I love it.
Oh, that's so funny. All right.
Like I said, Alhed was one of my favorite cards.
Wasteland Baroker. Not sure what they threw in there. We could check, but it's not a silver bullet. It's just going to be some sort of value card because they already used their slag.
I mean, it's got to be slash, probably, I would think, right?
Let's see.
Or I guess whatever they kicked into their hand.
No, they got rid of their Seek powers. They still have Edict, Factory Quota, and Scythe Slash, so we can process of elimination this.
Well, you're not going to really play Somiel now, so...
Got rid of the Gloves of the Pyromancer.
Look at that. Oh, I love it.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
A 2016 Overwhelm Norris Roa. That is pretty busted. And here's my 2/3 Grand Suppressor.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
wow.
Beautiful.
Well, that is how the Sling deck is supposed to work. And again, credit to the builders, the team builders who built this Rainbow Sling deck, how well it functions even after the Sling. You just have these value units that do so well. So congratulations to noverb on taking that one 2-1 over a tough fought match against jolterz.